What's up guys, Nate here. Today we're going to do a quick little update on the Elcamino project. We made quite a bit of progress since last week. I am sorry for not updating that video the day that it was the 21st that we actually did the work, and I didn't upload it until I think like the 26th. So really sorry about that. Just with school going on and everything, it's been really chaotic. So I'm going to turn the camera around here and we'll get right into it. So as you can see, we've made quite a bit of progress here actually. Of course it may not look like it because we don't have the A-pillars in yet. But we did get the blue dash, the new one, kind of pretty closely fit right now. We still have a little bit of final trimming to do. The main issue that we were having is the way that the junkyard cut the A-pillars. As you can see, he didn't really cut them straight, so they don't line up perfectly. So basically our problem is trying to get not only the A-pillars to line up, but also the firewall and of course the door hinges is the most important. Our priority right now is to get the A-pillars as close as possible, but we need to get these door hinges dead on. These cannot be wrong, because if your door hinges are messed up, then like I said in another video, your fenders aren't going to fit, your doors aren't going to match up to your quarter panel, they're not going to shut right, nothing will be right. So the main priority is to get these perfectly fit, and the windshield, I mean, it's a main priority, but it's not nearly as big as the doors right now. So that's our main thing. Now, I did want to show you, this is the side we were having trouble with because of the way the guy cut everything. The other side, on the other hand, is pretty well perfect, and you can see we have a piece of angle just kind of clamped on here, just so that we can make sure, that this is lined up, and then we can play around with this down here. But the way we trimmed everything down here is absolutely beautiful. We have everything cut and lined up right where it needs to be. Everything over here is pretty much final, other than trying to get that to line up with this. You can see, we have a little bit of a gap there. The blue one's hanging out a little bit. But I think we'll be able to get it absolutely no problem. And we do have the doors over there in the corner, but because we can't hang the doors while this isn't welded in, we do have some spare metal. This is actually aluminum. We drilled the holes in it to match up with the door, and then of course we have a couple bolts, and this will line that up there to make sure that the door will fit on there. We were mostly using that in the big stuff while we were trying to get everything lined up. So, and I do want to show you guys how we cut this, because before we had the red one. Well, we had nothing sitting up here before. The red one was in the back, and then the blue one was sitting on the wheel, so you couldn't really see how this was actually set up. So we went ahead and cut it right along the where there was this kind of notch here. That was our guideline on where to do it, and brought it right into the kick panels. Now the kick panel on the inside is a little goofed up, again, because the way the junkyard cut it up, they didn't really do a straight line at all. With the firewall on this one, we cut it right along the edge of the firewall. The other one we cut a little below, of course, like we did everything else, left some extra on there. But our plan is, instead of cutting the new one right there on that line, our plan is, I'm sorry, my lighting is getting all screwed up with the autofocus. We are just going to fold this new piece back. We'll do a continuous weld across, and you'll never know that anything was goofed up there. And of course the round piece here, this is actually the original firewall. It's just that it's sitting under the new piece there, so it looks really well. Overall, I think this is coming along beautifully. And of course, like we had said with our body guy, is what would have been best is to basically get it from the top of the, from about halfway through the A-pillar, and just get the floor and the whole front half to the firewall. That would have been a lot easier, because you wouldn't have had to worry about lining this up with this, and of course you wouldn't also have to worry about messing with your door hinges. You would have just made a line straight across the floor. And that did kind of make us a little mad now that we look at it, because obviously the junkyard could have done that. He would have had no problem with doing it, because, well, I mean, the blue Malibu that it came out of isn't going to be of much good anymore. But it is coming along slowly but surely. This coming Sunday, we have a car show, and depending on if it rains or not, we may go to the car show, or we may be working on this again next weekend. So this is kind of a heads up on what the progress is going here. I think it's going incredibly well, so hope you guys do too. And in this video, I also wanted to talk about the Camaro. Now, in another one of my videos, I talked about, you know, the next mod that's going to come, and I was going to do an exhaust on it. Now, I was pretty much dead set on it. I was pretty much ready to order the mufflers. And that's the one thing, is that I was going to just get mufflers. I was not going to get an axle back or a cat back or anything like that, mainly because of price. Now, I mentioned this before, me being, not having that much money, I don't have a lot of money to work with here, so I'm trying to do things right, but at the same time kind of keep the price down as much as possible. So I was looking at a good set of mufflers. They were Dynamax mini race bullets. There's another YouTube video, and they sound awesome with the resonator delete. So I was pretty much ready to pull the trigger on that, and I actually went down to my local muffler shop because, unfortunately, we don't have a pipe bender. So I would have to have a muffler shop bend up some pipe. And I talked to a bunch of places, and I pretty much came up with the price of about $90. So overall, Midas, by the way, I don't recommend Midas at all because they will try to rape you for price. I went down and had my air conditioning checked out from them, and they wanted $119 just to look at it. And for the exhaust pieces on here, my local muffler shop, like I said, wanted $90 for the whole thing, both sides. Midas wanted $100 per side, so I would be paying more than twice what the other muffler shop wanted. So definitely, stick with local. But the problem that I was having is they wanted to use aluminized steel. Now, I saw no problem with that. That's what a lot of cars have as an exhaust. Well, the Camaro has stainless steel. Now, this is kind of a controversy sort of thing because people think it's fine, it's not going to rust. When I mentioned to my dad, which of course, is incredibly particular, and I do appreciate that, because he wants me to do everything right, which I thank him for that. But he says, if you're going to do this, you need to do it in stainless steel because it's just not going to work. So I went ahead, called up my local muffler shop that wanted $90 for it, and I said, okay, how much do you want to do it in stainless? And they basically said, well, because it's so expensive, we don't carry that. And that's the moment that I realized I'm screwed. So I went up, called a couple more places. I only found one place, not even Midas, but one place, Might T Automotive. They would do it in stainless, and they wanted close to, I think they said, because they didn't even look at the car, I just talked to them over the phone, and they said probably around $115 to $120 per side. So I'm looking at around $240 plus the mufflers. I did not want to get in that deep. And I know a lot of people are probably thinking, wow, you cheap ass. But the thing is, the Dynamax mini race bullets, yeah, they sound good, but I haven't ever seen them in person. So for mufflers, and of course these are pretty inexpensive mufflers, so I didn't want to go spending close to $300 on an exhaust system that I don't even know how it's going to sound, or how it's going to perform. So that kind of caught me off guard there. I did not expect that. So I went ahead and kind of just put that on the back burner. So I've been thinking about what else I can do, and a few things that I wanted to do. Well, I had a lot of things that I wanted to do, but I've kind of narrowed down the performance pieces for the car. And of course, these aren't going to happen all at once. They're going to happen over a long period of time. I have pretty much technically three performance modifications that I wanted to do. I wanted to do a cold air intake, I wanted to do long tube headers with high flow cats, and then I would obviously need to get a tune. So I was looking at that, and obviously with, you know, a tune, that's a lot of money with headers. So I would do that last. So the first thing on my list then is a cold air intake. Now, I've been looking at cold air intakes brands, and there's basically 3 or 4 top guys out there, and that is Cold Air Inductions, K&N, and Rotofab, I guess, is a pretty good one. But also there are a couple that get forgotten, like Veraram and you know, BVK. But the one that actually I like the most is Veraram, because if you think about it, cold air inductions, they have everything insulated, you know, which is great. So that way everything from here is going to be completely cool. But the thing you have to think about is, where is that air coming from? Right down there. Now right down there, you're getting hot air from everywhere. You know, you're getting hot air, of course, you know, I mean, you're going to be getting cool air, I guess, you know, from just under the car, but you're also going to get hot air from the engine bay. That's just a given. That's why all this up here will be insulated, so that it keeps most of it out. But you are bringing in hot air from down there. Same thing with K&N and pretty much every other cold air intake brand. But Veraram, what they do is they have you tilt the radiator back, which causes no overheating problems. Because just tilting it back, I think about 1 inch, they do include longer radiator bolts right there so that you can tilt it back. And the intake comes straight up out of your throttle body and down into the grill. So basically all the air that's flowing right through here is going straight into your throttle body. There is no heat around here other than the radiator, which is behind it. And with dyno testing, you know, they say that Veraram is pretty close to cold air inductions. But the thing you have to think about is that's when you're sitting still on a dyno, you know, you're getting warm air kind of circulating in around here. You're not getting air forced straight through into that throttle body. So, of course, it's going to perform better on the street than if it was just sitting straight on a dyno. So that is the cold air intake I will be doing. Now, I don't want to make any promises on when I will be doing that, but I hopefully will be planning on doing that. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of give you guys an update on the Camaro and, of course, on the Elcamino as well. And another thing that I had talked about, if you haven't checked it out, it's my video. It's called Channel Info. I'm basically just talking about, you know, what's going to happen with the channel, what are my plans. And one thing that I had talked about is doing or starting a series of videos on the Deuce and a Half. Now, like I said, another guy that does great videos on Deuce and a Halves is Deuce and Guns. Definitely check his channel out. But you know, I did that one video on the Deuce and a Half, and it ran to like 19 minutes. I didn't realize it ran that long. I do sincerely apologize for that. So hopefully I will be doing a series of videos, you know, one for the interior, the suspension, the engine, the exterior, the bed. That way, you know, it'll kind of shorten the videos down a little bit, and of course I'll put them out over time. But the main problem that I'm having with that is because the storage facility that the Deuce and a Half is in is a school parking garage. So, of course, every day during the week they have school. And sometimes over the weekends, teachers are also there. So that whole parking garage is packed with cars. So I can't really get in there, let alone even find a place to park. So I'm not sure when I'll be able to get those videos. I'm really hoping to do them kind of soon. Maybe definitely within the month, I'm hoping. Maybe not August, but into September. But definitely hoping to get those done as well. So if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to like it, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel. I really would appreciate that, guys. Thank you very much, and have a great day.